You get home, drop your bag, sit down for just a minute, and suddenly it feels like your energy has completely vanished. You're not sore. You didn't run a marathon. You didn't lift anything heavy. Most of the day, you were just sitting. And yet, you feel absolutely drained. Not the satisfying kind of tired. Not the, I worked hard and earned this rest tired, but that heavy, foggy, can't even think kind of exhaustion. And here's the confusing part. From the outside, it doesn't look like you did anything that should make you this tired. So what's really going on? The truth is, modern work doesn't exhaust your muscles. It exhausts your nervous system, your attention, and your decision-making brain. We've quietly built a world where you can be completely wiped out without ever breaking a sweat. 100 years ago, most people came home physically tired but mentally calm. Today, it's the opposite. Your body might be relatively still all day, but your mind is running a nonstop marathon. Your brain is processing emails, messages, notifications, conversations, deadlines, expectations, and tiny stressors you barely even notice anymore. And every single one of those things costs energy. Think of your energy like a battery. You start the day fully charged, but instead of one big drain, you're losing power through hundreds of tiny leaks, a stressful commute, a passive-aggressive message, a meeting that should have been an email, background noise, bad lighting, being slightly too cold or too hot, worrying about what you still need to finish, wondering if you forgot something important. None of these feels dramatic on its own, but together they slowly bleed your mental energy dry. And the worst part? You don't get a warning light like your phone does. You don't see yourself dropping from 100% to 20%. You just hit a moment where suddenly everything feels hard. Thinking feels heavy. Making decisions feels exhausting. Even choosing what to watch or eat feels like work. That's mental fatigue. And it's very different from physical tiredness. When you're physically tired, you often still feel good. You feel accomplished. You feel like rest will actually fix the problem. But mental exhaustion feels gray, foggy, and unmotivated. Rest doesn't feel refreshing. It just feels like lying down with a tired brain. Now add another layer. Constant switching. Your brain isn't designed to jump between tasks all day long. Every time you switch, from a report to an email, from a message to a meeting, from work to a notification, your brain pays a switching cost. It takes time and energy to refocus. When this happens dozens or even hundreds of times a day, you're never fully focused and never fully resting either. You're stuck in a constant state of mental transition. That's why even small interruptions are so exhausting. It's not the message itself. It's the mental gear shift your brain has to do every single time. And here's something most people don't realize. Your brain treats notifications like threats, not logical threats, but biological ones. Each ping, buzz, or alert triggers a tiny stress response. Your body doesn't know the difference between a calendar reminder and something dangerous jumping out of the bushes. The same stress system gets activated. So all day long, your nervous system is slightly on edge, even if you feel like you're just sitting there working. Then there's decision fatigue. From the moment you wake up, you're making choices. What to wear, what to eat, which route to take, how to word that message, whether to reply now or later, which task to start with, which emoji sounds professional but friendly. Should you speak up in this meeting? Should you let that comment slide? Each decision is small, but they add up. By the afternoon, your brain is running low on what scientists call cognitive resources. That's why everything feels harder later in the day. Tasks take longer. You reread things more. You procrastinate more. And when you finally get home, even simple choices like what to eat can feel overwhelming. So you default to whatever requires the least thinking. And then comes the cruel irony. The more tired you are, the harder it becomes to do the things that would actually help you recover, like moving your body, going to bed on time, or doing something genuinely restful. Instead, you scroll. You stay up late. You tell yourself it's your time, but your brain is still being stimulated, still making micro decisions, still processing information. You're not recharging. You're just switching to a different kind of drain. Sleep doesn't fully fix it either, because your nervous system never really powers down. It's still processing the day, still catching up, still running in the background, so you start the next day not fully recharged. And that's where the real problem begins. The compound effect of exhaustion. You sleep a little worse, so you're more tired. Because you're more tired, you make slightly worse choices. Because you make worse choices, your day feels harder. Because your day feels harder, you're more stressed. Because you're more stressed, you sleep worse again. It's not one big thing, it's a chain reaction. But here's the good news. Compound effects work in both directions. If small bad habits can slowly drain you, small good changes can slowly give you your energy back. You don't need to fix everything at once. In fact, that usually makes things worse. What you need is awareness and one small strategic change. Start by doing a simple energy audit. For a few days, notice when you feel most drained and when you feel slightly better. What were you doing right before that? Was it back-to-back meetings? Too much screen time? Skipping breaks? Bad sleep? Constant notifications? You're not looking for perfection. You're looking for the biggest energy leaks. Then pick just one. Not to eliminate it, just to reduce it. If notifications drain you, check them less often. If sitting all day drains you, add short walks. If bad sleep drains you, protect your bedtime a little more. If decision fatigue drains you, simplify one part of your routine. Start embarrassingly small. 5 minutes. One tiny habit. One small boundary. Because here's the secret. When you get even 10% more energy back, everything becomes 10% easier. And when things are easier, you're more likely to keep going. That's how momentum starts. You're not lazy. You're not broken. You're not weak. You're running ancient biology in a hyper-stimulating modern world. The fact that you're functioning at all is impressive, but you don't have to live in a constant state of exhaustion. Your energy is your life force, and you deserve to stop leaking it through 1,000 tiny holes. You don't need a new life. You need better energy management inside the life you already have, and you can start today, one small win at a time.